intelligence say, learning in a split second that a luminous joy is actually on your side. Imagine, too, that you made contact in a simple way that there's no need to ever feel helplessly out of touch with something you always suspected but could never quite reach. Would that be a helpful wisdom, a flash of insight, an aha, or an epiphany? The feeling of a loving, powerful presence. How would you feel?
Inshallah and Ashe. Blessings to you. I've just noticed how high I am on my screen. But it is a cosmic day of opening up our soul's harmonic to as many unlimited, never-ending possibilities as we can unwind or unweb, untangle. So these are these opportunities. They're going to lead us up to us falling in love organically with ourselves in unlimited, multidimensional ways. So when we open up our soul's harmonic to a belief channel, a belief stream, it then begins streaming how much more and how much more we can galactically love ourselves on the inside. It's like the 4th of July bubbling up inside our bodies here. But the possibilities are truly endless. So it's like, at what level do you believe that you are loving yourself on the inside? So if there's any self-limiting beliefs or self-doubting and judging or guilt trips, that narrative, that frequency that you may have kind of entangled up with your inner child, that may leave you feeling a little more repressed, or all the pressing, actually just pressed in general, oppressed, depressed. All of this ought to be cleared away out of our chalice, out of our container. So these are all frequencies, energies, ideas, theories that you may have had about yourself that are really not in alignment with the queen, the heart of our chalice, who we are, literally the golden cup there. But the core of who we are, our personal medicine, it's like it's being sideswiped, if you will. Just believing and having greater love for ourselves. In doing so, we immediately alert others as a beacon, a signal, to love you in that same light, absolute light. And you may even feel drawn to make decisions based on your feelings, but you're going to be kind of met with challenges, forces of adversity, possibly an energetic hiccup, spun by a trivial pursuit, by our sometimes larger than life ego self, being egocentric. So the heart is grounded into our feelings, streaming in and listening to our feelings before we commit and decide to any action that we may take. We receive this confirmation like an email from our chalice, from our heart center, even from the divine, the God's eye, the eye of God, our inner heart, and our sacral, our emotional channel, acting from the core essence of our heart, along with the main ingredient, these emotions and feelings or sensations that are really inspired by the chalice. So with that, welcome to the daily snippet, streaming in a few hours later, or an hour later. But I am your host. I'm a practicing holistic shaman and medium, an otherworldly life coach, and a subtle energetic surgeon. But I do go by the term holistic Sha medium, and my intention is to utilize the power of these indigenous technologies, the elemental realms, if you will, our original divine blueprint to navigate our soul's harmonic, which is online today, through the realms of the elemental, imaginal, and through this gateway of this shamanic portal, the cosmos and subtle energies, the other world, and really so much more, with offerings, prescriptions, and rituals to really add to the juice of your personal container, your personal medicine, your prime directive, the star that I believe we all are, just in assisting you into discovering your own personal medicine, your inner genius, and illuminating that star, even reintroducing you to the magical being that resides within you so that your light can shine even brighter. My name is Tanya D, and welcome to my virtual cosmic medicine room. So with our soul's harmonic streaming through our crown today, into our heart's chalice, visions may bring clarity to an old, outdated belief that's been holding you back from manifesting your heart's desire, your wishes. So opening up our chalice, our heart, to streams of love incarnate, it begins to flow over to the village around us. So feel free to stream this bountiful, beautiful feeling to others that also may need that loving touch. It's like the choreography of our soul's harmonic is really lighting up our stage. So your mind may even bump thoughts around. Those are those energetic hiccups actively bumping. And they may even create some triggers, which are really wake up calls, being in a period of growth and a period of transition. So be at play with the jungle, if you will, the musing that's happening. So the queen of the round table might just assist in uncovering supporting a resource, a belief, and focusing on a new heartfelt way to play the game of life. And life sometimes is a game. So you may be channeling different ways of loving yourself, ways of expanding that love, filling up your chalice to the brim with love of the other world, the divine, God, universe, whatever you want to call it. So believing differently of what love is inside of us, inside to the outside. And if truth be told, and we all know this, to be in the light of love, the absolute light, human beings we're horrible at loving ourselves at all, if at all, the very least. It's kind of like happiness, but different. You really can't go buy happiness off the shelf. You might think you can when you buy a little pill, but no matter how much we practice and exercise, there's always more that we can add to our own personal cosmic soup pot, our ingredients. So loving ourselves in absolute light comes down to learning the ingredients of our own personal needs, of our own soul's harmonic. And as we learn what we enjoy, we then position ourselves like a chess game for a greater love story inside of ourselves that then flows over to our outer self. So you may have noticed, possibly in the last few days, the revealing of things, like the package gets opened, where it came out onto the stage of life, where you have this otherworldly understanding about your heart's needs for self-love, self-compassion, peace, joy, happiness, integrity, and love, by just applying these ideas, instigating a new philosophy, an otherworldly perspective, or a mountaintop perspective, or just understanding things about yourself within yourself, and even how you do see yourself. That's how the world sees us. How we see ourselves on the inside is how the outer world sees us on the outside. So keep a high perspective and just open up to these unlimited possibilities about everything and everywheres, just expanding our perspectives and including different concepts or ideas that we would normally dismiss, probably as strange or weird or otherworldly. But that allows us either to grow, or it either affirms something that we already know inside of us. So there's no loss when we try a new perspective, a new way of seeing something, or to look at ourselves from a different worldview, a different point of view. So if you looked at yourself on the daily as a normal kind of work in progress, maybe shift the perspective to an overseer and see how that shifts, changes your own ideas about your inner story, your love story, expanding our definition of self-love, trying something new, like a new pair of shoes, to really enlighten and enliven ourselves in ways that are different in whatever area, department of our life, where self-love needs a new description of whatever that looks like. And if you have yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Authentically Heartfelt, please do. Tanya D, I do see you, by the way. And for those new subscribers, again, Ashe and blessings. Thank you. My show is growing. It is expanding, and I am grateful for that. And hit the bell button, too, so you are notified. And remember, a comment or a share will get you a message for your day to stream you on your way. Just echoing out the algorithm to other like-minded musers like yourself out in the galactic universe who may muse about insights of the other world, the elemental highway, the world of spirit, source, the beings that are otherworldly, and so much more. But you can also find me on other social platforms that are also growing: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, my Musing with Tanya D podcast. So if your soul wishes to dive on deeper into the realms of the other world, head on over to my Musing Corridor. This is my library in the sky. It's a venue where you have some amazing options to assist you, to guide you. And I also have a private sacred circle, a community to utilize as well, where you can be vulnerable and we can work through some things. I really am your shamanic, otherworldly assistant. You truly are your own healer. Sometimes we just need somebody outside of our world to look in with a new set of eyes. And with that, just a few announcements real quick. But I'm going to get this on here. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, I did great today. So a few announcements. My Musing Moon meditation, the season of the sun, it is out, the star of our galaxy, and we all have an inner star. So can you feel yours just being ignited now that we've entered the season of the sun? We're creatively streaming new ideas, a new attitude on how we love ourselves with this new moon. I have my fire cauldron already, and sun is the fire, so I felt like a fire ritual is needed along with water. The moon is water, right? So it's like allowing our thoughts to flow. And when they're streaming and then are mindful, being mindful of inner love, our chalice, lighting the fire, burning away the old outdated love story, and literally scribing or writing a new one. And also, if you've yet to subscribe to my Musing newsletter, please do. And on the airwaves, I'm super excited, elated, really, to bring in A Witcher's Way to Manifestation. So if you're having issues manifesting the love of your life, a new place to live, a car, a career, hell, maybe you're not even aware of a career path to take, this wait list is open, and I will keep you posted as to when the cart is fully open as well. But I'm only allowing 20 guests in this container. I want to keep it a little more intimate and divinely operating, I guess, I want to say. So the link for that is also in the show notes. So go ahead and join the wait list if you're feeling the call to montanize your medicine. And we're also coming to the end of the lifetime access to Soliciting Your Inner Solitude. That price is going to shift to the angelic number of 111. Love, love, love. Midnight, July 31st, Mountain Time. And this Monday's podcast is actually dedicated to Raziel, the angelic being of the season of Leo. So that too is going to be on the airwaves very soon. Okay, so now we have rose essential oil or rose petals. We also have lavender or lavender essential oil, and we also have rosemary. So go ahead and comment what resonates with you and through you. We've got some options. I went with essential oils today. Okay, on the elemental highway, we have a young metal dragon of a day. So this is like a dragon that is made from stone. So at the hour, we're going to have a rabbit, which would be the hour of the rabbit. We're actually going to have a wood direction, which is the east. And wood to our metal day. This is ideas. It's just different ways of creating wealth through ideas, through visions. So you may stream in an innovative idea to manifest a gain. I don't really watch the stock market, but that's kind of the feeling that just streamed in. But metal born in the season of the sun, fire season, the goat, it's a weak frequency, but because it's buried, it's deep buried in the dirt. So our dragon is in a cave somewhere in the dirt. Kind of reminds me of Lord of the Rings, the dragon with all his gold. But we do need water to moisten the earth, producing more nature elemental, loosening up the goat, the greatest of all time. So yin fire on the month, that can forge our day into something useful, making it something sharp, but only in combination with the water, which we have on the year. Yang fire will not work, the big sun. It does need to be yin fire, which we have. And the sun is only going to provide the warmth to our day. It's not able to forge the metal. It's too much. And our day needs some friends, like-minded friends. There's no metal again. So metal and water. And lastly, you could also do wood or nature. So I would say be creative, play with the elements, see what they stream in for you. So the god or the talent of the day is known as the artist. So this is fine taste, luxury foods, cuisines, culture, cuisines, people that make art out of food, right? And you don't want to eat it. Excellent at communicating, writing, enjoying the public, social gatherings, intellectual conversation. But what's curious is the original talent of the artist is the artist. This gets pretty saucy too. So the talent of the artist is performing. It's the component of the output. So artists are classical. They're kind of a Renaissance kind of type of intellectuals, if you will, where somebody would display like a wide range of interests and being competent in tons of things. And knowledge is really the driving force of the artist. It really excites them. It represents the primary challenge to them. They like that. So they're kind of refined souls who enjoy the culture, the art, the fine dining, luxurious living styles. But they're resilient, they're resourceful, they're firmly believing that life is good. So they bounce back really fast from setbacks in all aspects. But creativity is their key feature. That's their access. Like they need that key. That's the key for a lot of artists. Many of them have it. So they really enjoy just expressing themselves through a variety of art forms. For these people, art is the way of life. So the value, honestly, it's the intellectual independence. Being controlled or managed is something the artist really can't stand at all or very well, which is very similar to the other creative talent of being a performer. But on the downside or the negative side, an artist can be overly dreamy, idealistic, unable to face the realities of life. So they indulge, they're indulging in refined living style, and lifestyle pleasures can sometimes result in neglecting their responsibilities. So it's like creative and thought processing. Sometimes that can as well, it lead to an attractive way for them to deal with harsh realities of money, relationships, legal matters, which can kind of for them be disastrous in the end. So the key for artistic people, the artist, is to keep one foot always in reality, or at least have somebody taking care of that part for them. But they really have this superb intellect, this attention to detail, fine detail. Steve Jobs actually has this. He represents this artist talent very clearly with his love of art and the refined, beautiful things in life, and being obsessed with the idea of that computers and phones should be a work of art, not just another piece of digital equipment. So that's super cool. So the list of these creative masterminds is actually a very long one. There's Janis Joplin, David Bowie, Jay-Z, Kurt Cobain, Michael Jackson, and Prince, which I found curious to name a few if you think about how creative artistically they both are and were and still are in the other realm. But this is actually, it's a critical talent. It's the most critical, especially when it comes to entertainment, show business. They literally are the best at what they do. They have this high attention to detail in their creative aspects and just presenting these abilities that are, I mean, they're superb, right? But they are overindulging as well by being obsessively focused on the creativity and this intellectual process. And if you think about it, you know, I can see that both with Prince and Michael Jackson. The artists, they can sometimes lose sight of reality, getting lost in the indulging, whether it's alcohol, food, clothing, jewelry, shopping, eccentric kind of way. Drugs usually are often used by artistic people because it assists them to expand their creativity and their intellectual abilities. It's actually kind of like two channels of the mind, really, by just combining that with their weak connection with reality, that one foot in the ground. So that can result in disastrous outcomes. So these addictions are very common among artists. Some of the best or worst examples are, which some of them I found was curious, Ben Affleck, which I guess he had a sex addiction. I didn't really know that. David Bowie, drugs. Janis Joplin, obviously, same thing, drugs. Kurt Cobain. But also Bradley Cooper, I found that interesting, was alcohol, so that was curious. Prince, also sex. I think he's a magnitude, very charismatic. But so that's just a few on the top of our minds for that. So it's very likely that the majority of top level artists, masters, they suffer from some type of addiction, especially during their most creative times, if you will, being excessively creative. That can result in the neglecting of basic physical needs, reality, losing balance between body and mind. So I thought that was really interesting. And I do find the elements kind of curious myself. So that was kind of a phase there. I still can see Prince and Michael Jackson in the back of my little peripheral there. Okay, on to the messages of our day. We have rose or rose petals, lavender, and rosemary. Okay, so who chose the rosemary? Oh no, sorry, the rose petals. Rose petals, rosemary. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. There we are. So this is the Sovereign of Wands. So this is fire, inspiration, excitement, wild, raw passion, energy, creativity. Kind of goes with the energy of today. But this is the Queen of Hearts, the Sovereign of Wands. This is empowering or empowerment. It's confidence, it's warmth. This indicates an abundance of energy and multitasking, but you're definitely up for it. You're also capable. you're feeding off of the movement and you're getting excited about all of these opportunities. And you're also most comfortable when you're creating. So this message here, it's kind of signifying that great things are in the works. Maybe you're needling away or something, creating a quilt, or I don't know. And you may be just finding that people are magically just drawn to you magnetically. So the Sovereign of Wands really has this energy that people really want to be close to you. And you hold this important space in community, just serving others well. It's the Queen, right? However, do be mindful of your relationships. They should be balanced. They should be easy. So this is an invitation for us to allow ourselves to be it all, to be motivated, brave, loving, radiant, creative, all the sauce, to know our strengths and actually to proclaim them, like announce them, carry your knowingness proudly, announce them, use your voice, outside voice. And sometimes we have moments where we feel really, really amazing, and it's easy to believe this about ourselves. But a lot of us struggle with holding that feeling for indefinitely, right? That's kind of the season of Cancer that I was kind of getting to, holding that feeling out into the streams, the waterways, if you will. So it's like, how can we stay in touch with our magic and also magnify, magnificent, bring in, I'm thinking of I'm thinking of the Disney show, Maleficent. I like her magic. Even when we're kind of, our shadow sometimes wants to pull us down. But being that the Sovereign of Wands is otherworldly, this is kind of like signaling an arrival in many ways that brings the realization of who we are authentically inside and what we need. So what you will and what you will not do. So it's an empowering space where the Sovereign is more focused on themselves than on the other. But now would be a great time to up your alone time and really prioritize your relationship with yourself. So this is the Queen of the Chalice, and this definitely is the frequency, the energy of today. So I thought that was pretty magical. Okay, now we're on to Rosemary. Whoever chose Rosemary, you get Rosemary twigs. This is the Six of Swords. So swords are air, intelligence, bravery, communication, power, ambition, change. It kind of actually goes with our young metal day, the elemental realm. See, it's kind of fascinating how these all play out together. But the six is a placeholder. It has a placeholder. It's a boundary of protection of what we need sometimes. We need that boundary of what we will and will not open up to receive. So this is also like having telepathy, communication, adjusting our communication or our frequency to get those downloads. Maybe having discernment. It's clairaudience, clear hearing. It's our throat center. It's even automatic writing as well. But this is this inevitable change. It's transition. It's moving on, letting things go. It's the Six of Swords. It indicates like major transition, most likely one that's filled with maybe some sadness or grief. So this life change may feel forced upon you, but this road is also the one that's the best for us. Things happen for us, not to us. So just remaining open or not remaining open or remaining where we are, that's really not an option. So change, it's transition, it's transformation, it's nature. Change has been in this movement, this development for some time, setting the foundation. But it may take some time until we feel through it, emotions. So this is kind of like an acknowledgement that the path you're on is going to lead you to a whole new world where you really have more opportunities. So it's kind of showing a glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel because there's always light in the darkest of the shadows, right? So you may be still in this tunnel and it's probably not any fun, but you can see the light rather than the rapid transition and the transformation. So there is this epic quietness in the journey and knowing that the challenges are going to be over soon. But often where people struggle in situations is trying to rush the process. It really needs time and space. So not feeling good or comfortable with your life immediately triggers a desire to escape or to desperately find the great and the greater. But just being able to surrender to an experience really allows the shift to happen more easily. So what are things that you could do in this moment that are going to help you feel more at peace with where you are at? Or how can you honor and just say goodbye to the life and the things that you're leaving? So I'd say do a ritual around it. Nature transforms, right? Water gets things in the flow, things become clear. So elementally rituals for different things. Okay, now our final message streaming in from the memoir of Lavender Fields, if you know what lavender fields are. I think I must, lavender really is a must for every house. I have like bottles everywhere. But this is the Seeker of Coins. That right there sounds super cool. And I think I could actually create some of these images like a sigil, ritual ornaments. Seriously, I'm not even kidding. That's kind of what I saw with this one. I was like, oh, wow, I could make some kind of a tool there. But coins, what are coins? If you chose this card, this is the earth. It's the physical, money, stability. It is nature, foundations, starting from the foundation up, business, career, ego. Did I say ego? But the seeker seeks to fill the chalice, which I love, to an overflowing brim, adding more to it just when it begins the overflow. So it's like adding more of that, and this is adding love and adding more love to our foundation. So this is new opportunities. It's our dreams. It's also innocence, which I love. Little kids, their innocent wonder. But the Seeker of Coins is ushering in a new beginning with all things abundant, physical, material. And that's, hello, fantastic news. So this means a new type of prosperity, something you may not have saw, right? Something different could be on its way to you. Or perhaps it indicates an internal embodied shift in order to manifest into the material realm. This is like energy to matter. So we have to be in alignment with it. So this is one of the most kind of difficult leaps to make for a lot of people. Many people actually, of course, right? Remember, this is a beginning. And we are entering a totally new level, maybe a new experience. So it's important that you do not take it for granted. A lot of people do. How about an attitude of gratitude? So we just must continue to daily show up, be due diligent, do that diligent work to ensure that we stay on the path, whatever the path looks like. Hone in on your intentions and focus in on it becoming real, manifesting, taking shape. Again, energy to matter, reality. So kind of learn about your own inner queen's needs and believe in a new loving feeling inside of yourself. So the seed sound, I would go with the heart, the yummy, keep it yummy. I would be yamming all day long. You could also do the solar plexus, but the soul's harmonic, that is the meta symbols, sigils, and signs. You might be getting those in vision. So really pay attention. Like if you're driving down the road and you hit every red light, that may be a sign. Stuff like that. You just kind of pay attention to words, even license plates. Universe is so magical, right? But I would affirm that my heart's chalice is seeing a perspective from source, the eye of God, God universe, of elevating my belief about loving myself inside and out. Even a belief in the magic of self-love. Okay, so thanks for tuning in, making the daily snippets magical. Join the wish list or the wait list. I like the wish list myself. To monetize your medicine, a Witcher's Way to Manifestation is on the highway. The door is opening very, very soon. I'm only going to allow 20 peeps in this venue, and then the door is going to close. So with that, inshallah and ashe, blessings to you, and I'll see you on the morning show tomorrow. Ashe, blessings. Ding, ding, ding. I'm hilarious.